Thank you. Your parents and your teachers always address you as digital natives, and I guess they do it with a little green envy, okay? I'm terribly and awfully sorry to disappoint you guys, but you are not digital natives, and actually nobody is. I hope this is the only disappointment that the speech will give you. The 20th century that we just left behind, he knew just 3 generations. People that could remember when they saw the first car, people that could remember when they saw the first TV set, and people who could remember when they saw their first computer. Me, Professor Ballard, we could. We couldn't remember when we saw the first car, right? You guys cannot remember when you saw the first computers because they were around you since you were kids. But the tremendous elan that we got in terms of technology has really made us blind to what the revolution we are living really is. We are totally mesmerized by the technology. I mean, the smartphone that you have in your pocket and that your parents pay the bill every month. It's not laughing matter. You should have actually cried, especially the parents around you. It contains more technology than the computers that took us to the moon in 1969. So it's in a way understandable that we are totally mesmerized by the technology. But being focused on the technology, again, makes us blind to what is really taking place. So I want to take you back in time, as Professor Ballard took us to the bottom of the sea, and I really envy him for his job, and maybe I'll join you in one of your expeditions. I want to take you deep back in time and ask you, do you think the Romans had social media? Do you think the early Christians had social media? And of course you would say no, because they didn't have Pinterest. Who's you always on Pinterest? Okay, good, too few. Who is on WhatsApp? Yeah, do more Pinterest and less WhatsApp, guys. And the Romans had social media. They did have social media. Caesar, or Cicero, as somebody called him, would write letters every day from Rome because he wanted the Republic to stay Republican and not to be an empire. And so he would write in political manifestos or political op-ed. He would say every day, every day, every day. How would they spread to the entire territory and to the entire area of the Republic? Because people were copying it. Copying it. They, of course, had slaves. They very educated slaves, and overnight they could produce 500, 600 copies of the original letter. Well, Cicero had a problem like you guys, because cut and paste wasn't enough for him. The slaves were doing for him cut and paste. But, of course, since they were educated, they would add stuff. They would improve him. They sometimes disagree with him, so they would add more stuff to his letter. And so he had to fight to keep his original message clean and tight to what originally wrote. St. Paul, the real founder of the Christian church, the first Christian church, the Catholic Church, as a strong religious organization, he would write letters from what we call now the Middle East, at the time they were called Asia Minor, and they would reach Rome within days, within weeks. Why? Because the Christians, not slaves this time, but out of faith, they would copy and copy and copy. But again, St. Paul had a problem, because he had to make sure that what he was writing wasn't edited, that he would write to Rome clean and tight to what he wrote. So you can see the social media it's really, really much older than the web. There is something else that they taught you in college, and is that when Mr. Gutenberg, Johann Gutenberg, invented the printing press, then all sorts of great revolutions erupted in Europe, right? Democracy, freedom of religions, the Reformation, and the newspapers. It's totally wrong. I don't want to offend any of your history teacher around here, sorry, but it's totally wrong, because as you may know, the printing press as a technology was invented much, much earlier in Japan, Korea, China, 100 years, 150, 2 centuries before Gutenberg in Europe, okay? And nothing happened. No revolution, guys. No revolution. And if you want to drag me and test me really back in time, I'll tell you something bizarre. The Romans had the project and the blueprint for a printing press. Of course, being decadent Romans, they used gold instead of lead, because, of course, I mean, a good, real ancient Roman would not print with lead. They would wanted to print with gold. Why they didn't actually build a printing press, even if they had the project? Because the educated slaves were much faster than a primitive printing press. So they had no need for that kind of technology. But if you go back at Gutenberg, the technology didn't start any revolution. Go Google tonight when you go back home an image for Johann Gutenberg. You will get this very bizarre guy with a long beard, a conic hat. It's not him, because you don't know what he looked like. Gutenberg was no Zuckerberg, was not Bill Gates, was not Steve Jobs. His enterprise failed. He had to sell it to his cousin, and you know where he went? He went to sell convex mirrors, and those convex mirrors were used by Christians when they would go on religious holidays, trying to catch the image of saints. They were convinced that they could do that. Why was the project of Gutenberg a failure, even if his invention was such a great invention? Because he didn't change the content. Because he knew that they were copying, the monks were copying Bibles in Latin, in Greek, and he kept printing Bibles in Latin and in Greek. But the market for Bibles in Latin and in Greek was very small. The clergy, some educated noblemen, very small. So there were no money into it. There was no revolution. The revolution comes when the technology applies to a new content. Luther translates the Bible, newspapers start appearing, people get interested in what's going on in their government in England, in France, in Germany, in Italy. Okay? We are today where Gutenberg was in the early 15th centuries. We are pouring all content in the new media, okay? If you go to the website of the New York Times, you'll find pretty much what they are doing on the printing edition, right? We are trying to put on Facebook, on our websites, exactly the same stuff that we were putting on books, on newspapers, on your papers here in school. We're making a mistake, guys. And I'm afraid, and I hope that you won't fail like we are failing, that our grandchildren and your grandchildren won't laugh at us. You say, like, guys, you had a great invention, the web, the new media, and you use them simply to take prolong what we were doing earlier. This won't lead us anywhere. So we have to change the content, but that's not easy. To translate the Bible is very difficult. How can we avoid to be like Chinese, like Korean, like Japanese, that had the printing press and did nothing with it? We have to invent something new. To invent something new in 20 seconds is not easy, but we can try. We can try. The 20th century was a century of masses, okay? There were big armies clashing, workers working together in the assembly line. There was a system of mass education, public mass education. And of course, there were mass media. The same TV network for millions of people, the same newspapers for millions of people. There are pictures where all people are reading the same newspaper on a train. This changed. Now we want personal media. We have personal jobs. We have a personal attitude. We have personal friends in the thousands on Facebook. We left the century of the masses, of the mass media, and we live in a century of the personal life, of the personal media. The personal media is a good thing, or the personal media is a bad thing. I don't know, and you guys don't know either. Was the Bible in English, in German, in Italian, a good thing or a bad thing? It depends who you ask, because when you asked the clergy at the time, they said it was a very, very, very bad thing. What we experience today on the web is something that is too early to call. As you know, there are scholars and there are writers and thinkers that say, like, the web is making us free. It's so great. The Arab Spring started because people tweeted about it. And who follows me on @Riotta? Right? Too few. At the end of the conference, many more about it. It's a lot of fun. And news about soccer, too. Although they say the web makes us in contact with great communities. There are other thinkers that says the terrible thing that is the web is isolating us, is polarizing us. You may have heard about the Google algorithm. What is the Google algorithm studied by Mr. Eli Pariser? When you do a search on Google, you won't get the same result for the same search because Google pushes you according to your previous research. So if you always buy jeans, it will push you toward websites that sell jeans. If you always buy Brooks Brothers, it'll do the same. And this is very good when you go shopping, but it is, guys, very, very, very bad when you go politics, because this means that if you are a Tea Party, I know that there are a lot of Tea Parties here in this room, the Google algorithm, why do you laugh, guys? It's the truth. I don't understand. I tell you it's very serious. My son is in the audience. Please, guys, I don't want you to tease me at the end. So the Google algorithm pushes you towards Tea Parties. And if you are a member of Occupy Wall Street, I know that there are many in the room, the Google algorithm does the same. So the Google algorithm and the web in general is having a mechanical effect of polarizing us, of polarizing these debates, of making us more and more talk and meet with people that we agree. In a research that we run in Italy and in Europe, we proved that actually people don't go on the web anymore to find what is going on. They think they know what is going on, and then go on the website to find the facts and the opinions that match what they already think before they did the search, okay? This is such a very dangerous process, guys, because the late American Senator Moynihan used to say the First Amendment let you have in your own ideas, but doesn't allow you to have your own facts. Facts are facts. And that's not the way we work anymore. We go online and try to find the facts that fits what we already think. This is a trend that is very dangerous. Actually, the World Economic Forum considers one of the 10th most dangerous trends of our time, people that are open to read false news online and to have false beliefs online. So where exactly do we stand? Where exactly do we stand? Is the web dangerous? Since social media are so old, can we actually find a new content that is good? When you study, and you will study, the revolution in informations, the printing press, when writing was invented, you'll see that the human being always reacts with the same reactions. It's amazing, guys. Radio, TV, everything that we have considered, the impression is always the same. Half of the people think this is a disaster. This is a total disaster. This invention will crush civilization and human culture. And if you think like, how stupid they were, okay? Guys, they were not stupid at all. Socrates. Who knows Socrates? Okay, good. Your parents didn't spend money in vain for you. Socrates, when writing was invented, said like, this invention will crush human civilization, because what is human civilization? That we talk. That we talk, that I listen to Mr. Ballard, that I listen to your friends, that you listen to me, and then we talk. If I had to read a script, that's the end of culture. Kant, a great philosopher, Leibniz, one of the great humanists, Hieronymus Squarciafico, you know what they said? Too many books, too many books. The books are killing wisdom and culture. Who has the time to read? Everybody's writing a book. I mean, where are the good old times when there were Aristotle, Plato, right? just the Bible, just few books. Go read on The Atlantic, the magazine The Atlantic, Mr. Nicholas Carr. The web is killing culture. He writes exactly like Socrates. What Socrates thought about writing, Nicholas Carr think about the web. They're both wrong. I mean, I don't care if saying that Nicholas Carr is wrong, but to say that Socrates is wrong is a little tougher. But he was wrong. Because, as you know, writing didn't kill the human civilization. So what are we up to, guys? What are we up to? Since you know that now you are not digital natives, what are we supposed to do? The web is a mirror. You remember Gutenberg? We spoke about Gutenberg a few minutes ago, guys. It seems like a long time ago. It was just he ended up selling convex mirrors. The web is a mirror. Okay? You'll see in the mirror and you'll see in the web what you put in front of the mirror and what you put in the web. So the real challenge for your life, is what are you guys gonna put into the web? What are you guys going to, what is the content that you are creating for the web? This is the real challenge for your generation, and this is the challenge to save human civilization online. The web is not good. The web is not bad. The web is what you are making of the web. So your real privilege is not to be native, digital natives. The real privilege is to be native human beings. So please deserve this privilege, and good luck with that. Thank you.